Shoots and Scores Hockey Talk, where we talk everything hockey. I am John,
I'm Mike, and no
and
bagel.
there's no Bagel tonight. So, Mike, let's go. Now, why is Bagel not here tonight, Mike?
Well, he says that it's his wife's birthday, and for some reason, he's missing the podcast for that. Who is he?
Yeah, what a crazy guy, huh? Miss a podcast for your wife's birthday. Unreal. Well, I think we can understand that. So, let's get on to our first topic. I got a number of things I wanted to talk about here, and we just got done watching the Canada Czech game, which I want to talk about here a little bit later on. But our first thing on the agenda is why don't we start off with the 10-2 beatdown of Team Canada over Team France the other night or a few nights ago. The fight, not fight, between Tom Wilson and Francis Pierre Crinan, or Crinan, however the hell you pronounce his name. The game was basically over, and a scrum started after Crinan hit McKinnon in the face with an elbow, and I know McKinnon was nowhere near the puck when that happened, so no meaningful punches were really thrown. But both players were handed fighting majors and ejected, not a surprise in the Olympics. How often do you see any kind of fighting in the Olympics? I got a quote here from McKinnon. Yeah, that guy obviously didn't want to fight, Tom. He just wanted to wrestle. And then McKinnon said, quote, I wouldn't want to fight Tom either, unquote. Yeah, no surprise there. Now, Mike, really interesting thing I found about this was the French Ice Hockey Federation, FFHG, which I never heard of, said his conduct constitutes a clear violation of Olympic spirit and does not reflect the values expected of players representing the national team. We will not He will not take part in France's remaining games of the Milan Cortina Olympics. So Mike, he was suspended by their federation, which I was shocked. I mean, if the Olympics don't see any reason to suspend him for the rest of the Olympics, I can't believe that somebody else would do it. My first question out of all this, Mike, is should Wilson have done what he did, or maybe you think he should have done more? What do you think? Let's start there, Mike. What do you think?
Well, I think just doing what he did was enough to send the message. Beating the hell out of this guy is probably not what you want to be doing at the Olympics. I mean, World Cup of Hockey, different story, but and I mean, I'm not sure if and I assume they were, but the players knowing that they could potentially get kicked out of the Olympic Games for fighting. So perhaps this is why it only got to what it was. However, I don't think he needed to, pound the guy senseless because he probably could have. So,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he could have. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's go on to part B here. Should Crinan have been suspended for the rest of the tournament by the French officials? Like, what the hell's up with that? What do you think?
well, I did a little research on this, and apparently, this guy's been suspended multiple times this year in the hockey league they have in France. So,
Oh, really?
So some of the players felt like that maybe the officials were biased against them because of that, and that's why they did it. Um, I mean, a little surprised that they would bring a player like that, though, that's been suspended multiple times all this year. But I guess they don't have maybe as much of a pool of players to pick from. So, and I'm not sure what this guy's talent level is. I never heard of him. So,
Well, he was on the third pairing of
yeah.
defensemen.
So
So probably not ultra talented, I'm guessing.
yeah, and some of the players felt like it was a little much, so there was talk that some of the guys on the team weren't too happy about that decision. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a decision they made, and I can't really fault them for it. I mean, if that's how they feel and they want to be represented, then that's how it is. So
Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. I was a little surprised that the Federation would do that. I didn't know he had been suspended before, though.
yeah,
So that kind of makes sense. And he's not like their most valuable defenseman, obviously. So maybe it all makes sense. Let's go on to part C here. Now, is Wilson going to be dressed for all of Team Canada's games? What do you think, Mike?
yeah, he will be for sure. Um, I can't see why they wouldn't play him. He's been playing regularly. Not quite sure what his total minutes are over the course of each game, but he'll get his playing time on the spots where they need to have him out there, I would say.
Right. And I would say the chances of him not playing against the Americans, if it comes down to that, is pretty much zero. He will be playing against the
Absolutely.
Americans,
If Canada
especially.
plays the states, he'll definitely be playing in that game.
All right. Well, let's go on to our second topic here. Now, we're going to talk about Sidney Crosby here a little bit. I know we talk about him a lot, but there's good reason why we talk about him. The 38-year-old Crosby's 3 points gave him 16 for his career in 16 Olympic Games, eclipsing the national team's NHL era record of 14 previously held by Jarome Iginla. Even though, yes, I know I wrote this down here, Mike, I found that Joe Juneau had 15 points. I don't understand that. It says it's all Olympic points. I didn't go back and check. Whatever, we'll just go with what they said. They say he beat Iginla. Fine. But what I want to know is Connor McDavid has 11 points in 4 games. How many points do you think McDavid will have by the end of this tournament, Mike? What do you think?
It's a
He got
good
2 more points
question.
today.
The, if they play, I'm not sure how many points he had today.
So he had
Um,
2 points today. So he
he
had
had
9, and then the 2 today
so
gave
he's
him 11.
so he's at 11 now.
He's at 11 now, yep.
I wouldn't be shocked if he had probably 15 by the end of it, maybe more. But I mean, the games are going to get a little bit tougher now. So putting up 3 and 4 points a game is not going to be likely against if they get to the gold medal game for sure. Um, However, depending on who they play in their next game, I don't know if that's decided yet. Um,
No, no,
I
it's
would
not
assume it'd
decided yet.
be Switzerland or not Switzerland, Slovakia or Finland. I would assume. I don't know how they finished in the round robin, how they determine the quarterfinals, but or the
The
semifinals.
semis. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say he gets 15 points, maybe more, 16 perhaps. But going back to the Joe Juno, like you were saying, I know that he played in the Olympics before he joined the NHL. So this was
Ah,
before the NHL had allowed players to go.
I see.
He had
Right.
played, I think, the year before he was drafted by the Bruins. So
Right. Because he did get a late start in the NHL, didn't he?
a little later than most, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I think those numbers probably came from, was from the year that he played in the Olympics before he joined the NHL. So
Makes sense. I couldn't figure out why. It said it was Olympic points, but I was like, man, how is this even possible? But that makes sense. All right, let's go on to part B here. Now, how many points do you think that McDavid's going to be behind Crosby? Now, I put that question out there because Crosby was not injured, and now he's injured. I have no idea if he's going to come back. But I mean, Crosby's been getting points the whole time as well. Obviously, he didn't get any today.
yeah,
I don't think he did anyway. So if he comes back, what do you think? So Crosby has 16 total now. You think that McDavid, could get as many as 15? Do you think Crosby is going to come back and get a few more points?
if he comes back and plays, and I expect him to. Um, they showed him leaving the ice today, and he was kind of walking a little slowly, but it's the Olympics. You know how hockey players are; they play pretty much through anything, and like Sidney Crosby, is kind of the heart and soul of the team. I wouldn't be surprised to see him play next game. And if they get to the gold medal, if he doesn't play next game, I absolutely can't see him not playing the gold medal game unless it's something super serious. So, yeah, I think he's going to play. Whether or not, I don't think McDavid's going to pass him this year. If Crosby plays, if Crosby doesn't play, I think he has the potential to. So it's kind of just up in the air right now with whether he plays or not to actually make a good guess on that.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Let's now we're going to get a little bit deeper in this with our fourth question. But my third question I have here is: have you seen anyone play that you think should have been left off of Team Canada? Anyone that sticks out for you? I think really doesn't belong there.
Well, we talked about it a little bit with Bouchard not making the team, and I think he should have been on the team at the expense of Sanheim or Devin Taves. Not big on those two guys, so but as far as the rest of the team with how they've played, nobody's played badly, in my opinion. I know they didn't play Marchand for a couple of games, and I'm not sure if it's I don't I doubt it's because of poor play. I think it's
Well,
more
they said
that
he was injured.
yeah, well he was hurt
Yeah.
prior to the Olympics because he only played once or twice with Florida for the last pretty much 3-4 weeks before the Olympics. So clearly, I think he's playing hurt. So I mean, the games that they sat him out against, there were a couple of the weaker teams. So he only played against the Czechs in the round robin.
Right.
So
He only played against the Czechs.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that they didn't play him just to have him rested and ready to go for the playoff games. So to answer the question, I don't think that anybody has really stood out that they shouldn't be there. However, as like I said, when we discussed before, we thought that Bouchard should have been there over a couple of the other defensemen, even Doughty. I mean, Doughty. I know they've today with the game. Makar played a lot, so they really needed some goals. So he played a lot, and some of the other guys didn't get as much playing time. So, but
Right. Right. And I mean, they say that Doughty belongs there. I mean, he hasn't done anything bad, that's for
right,
sure. I haven't seen him, but I did see Sanheim give it away a couple times.
yeah, yeah.
So he gave
So
one away up the middle there one game, and I'm like, man, it's not good. Can't be doing that.
no, you can't.
All right. Okay. Let's go on to our fourth topic here. Now, let's talk a little bit about Macklin Celebrini and his Olympic debut. Now, Celebrini scored on a penalty shot, which is something you seldom see in the Olympics, very rare. Celebrini, now I updated this, has 9 points, 5 goals, and 4 assists in 4 games. Pretty crazy. Has Celebrini done all that you thought that he would do? Has he looked better or worse than you thought? Does he look out of place at all? It sure as hell doesn't seem like it. What do you think about Celebrini's play here, Mike? I mean, 9 points in 4 games, five
Yeah,
goals, 4 assists for a 19-year-old?
he's played great. I mean, it's turning out that it looks like it's a great pick. Mind you, I mean, you're playing with the two of the best players in the world, so that definitely softens things up, I think, a little bit for him. But at least this will give him, the experience so that he'll be playing. Like if they do the Olympics every year, he's probably going to play, 4, maybe 5 Olympic games
Yep.
over the course of his career. So uh, and the production that he's put up. I mean, he's played great all year with San Jose. Has them in a spot where they're actually contending for a playoff spot, which is what none of us would have seen happening. So
No, I
um,
didn't expect that.
no, and he's been really really good for them. He's played really well with Team Canada. So yeah, I would say if I was going to say expectations wise, he's probably played above expectations for what I thought because I didn't think that they would necessarily have him playing up on the top line like that. So, but he's fit in pretty seamlessly. So gives them a lot of scoring on that first line. So if they can keep that up, they should get to the gold medal game, and then it's going to be anybody's game, especially if they're playing against the states who are playing right now against Sweden. I can't see the score. I think it's
Yeah,
one.
what's the score, Mike? Is it still 0-0?
Yeah, it's 1-0 for the states. Jack Hughes had scored, so
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, well, Celebrini was a shocker. Now, a longtime friend of the show there, Claude, was talking to me about him, and he said Celebrini should have been the pick all along. So he was in favor of it long ago,
yeah,
and he was right. And there was a lot of people that thought, no, he's too young. I thought he would play third or fourth line center. I didn't think he was going to play on the wing with the top guys.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that as well. But when you're constructing this team, I can see totally why they would pick him. I can't see a reason why they would want to leave him off the team. He played well, and I get that. You know, Canada's always been known to pick more veteran type players for these type of things, but it was good to see them actually kind of think a little bit outside the box and bring him in. So since he is going to be, one of the future pieces that they're going to have at these things. So
Right. He could smash these Olympic points records by these NHL players, but
yeah,
you know, in year two, or the second Olympics, he could smash all these other people, all the pieces there potentially.
yeah,
So,
he could, and I mean, more so that would be because the NHL didn't allow players to go for stretches, and now that it looks like they're probably going to let them go play in the Olympics there, unless there's some political standpoint thing that they don't want these guys to go. But
right, right.
like how it was the last one, I think wasn't it in Korea or something? The last one, and they
Yes.
didn't want the players going there, so. But anyways,
Well,
yeah, I think he'll definitely break some Olympic records if the NHL players go every 4 years.
all right. Okay. Well, let's go on to our hockey profit segment where, Mike, you are the hockey prophet because there's no Chris around tonight. So it's just you and me. So I have 4 questions here for you. Mike, are you ready for the hockey profit segment?
I'm ready.
Okay. Number one, which has Chris still written by it, but it's for you now. Is it likely that McDavid has found his winger for anything Team Canada for the foreseeable future?
Sorry,
What
can
do you
you
think?
say that again for me? Sorry.
Is it likely that McDavid has found his winger for anything Team Canada for the foreseeable future?
Oh, do you want me to answer this for me or for Chris? Because Chris would say, "Well, Zach Hyman's the answer,"
Yes, of course he would. Of course he would.
sarcastically. Um, yeah, I mean, but at some point, I think once some of these players kind of age out and are not available to play anymore, then you might see Celebrini centering his own line. But I mean, for this one here, maybe the next one, yeah, for sure, you could put him on the wing
Yeah.
with McDavid and he'd be successful.
Right. Yeah, I figure that Celebrini is going to be the wing of McDavid. Anything Team Canada wise for a few years yet. So Four Nations Cup, whatever. If they decide to do that again, I assume they are. So successful. All right, let's go on to question number two. Mike, has anyone caught your eye from Team USA? Who has stood out? Anybody? I don't know how many of the Team USA games you've been able to see or the highlights, but
I've seen a few, mostly for me because I work through the day. It's very hard for me to see a lot of the games, so it's mostly highlights and that sort of thing. But I know we kind of touched on it a little bit last week. Brock Nelson has played really well for that team. Um, knows his role, his fourth line center, um, and he's doing exactly what he should be doing. He's producing some offense. So if I've got to pick one guy, I would say that Brock Nelson has been one of their better players considering the role he's been put in. So
okay, good, good. Number three, if Canada and the US meet at the Olympics, will there be an on ice fight?
if it wasn't the Olympics, I would say most likely. Now that they know that there's players will be kicked out of the game, it's not just 5 minutes; they're done from the game. So that might deter it. However, I do think that some of these players like the Tachuks and maybe Wilson might try to antagonize enough to get under the skin of their opponents. So I don't think there will be a fight. I mean, I'd love to see it just because, but I don't see it happening unless the game's a little bit out of hand and the winner is kind of determined before the end. Maybe then, but I don't think anybody wants to get kicked out of the gold medal game of the Olympics, especially if the game's close. If it's a blowout, well, then anything could happen at that point. But
Right, right.
we'll have to see
Oh,
on Sunday, perhaps.
okay. All right. Mike, and fourth and final question. Connor McDavid has done something that no other NHL era Olympic hockey player has done. He scored 3 points in each of his first three games, giving him 9 points. So that's something no other NHL player had ever done in the Olympics. Scored 9 points in three games. Will McDavid score 3 points again at any point in this Olympic series?
Well, I
So
don't
he's
think
got potentially two more games. Is he going to get 3 points again in either one of those games? You had
it.
said earlier that the games get tougher.
Yeah. Did he get how many points did he get today?
He got two today.
2
Yeah.
or 4 goals. Um, well, it's going to depend on who they get as a matchup. If they get Slovakia, that's a possibility that he could put up some points there because Slovakia is probably the weakest team left. Um, so if he's playing against Sweden or Finland or the States, I think they're a little better defensively. So it's tough to say. I mean, it's the power plays too. I mean, I'd like to see him get 3 points, obviously. So I'll answer it this way: if they play Slovakia, yes, he'll get 3 points. If they play anybody else, I don't think he'll get that many points. But the games will get tougher. I mean, as they go along, teams are, they're not playing against like France and Latvia and the teams like that are clearly not up to the same caliber of these all these players that play in the NHL.
Has it been like you asked earlier if it's been decided who they're playing next? I don't even know. I should look it up.
I don't think it's the. I think they were talking about it would only be determined after the Sweden U.S. game. So I'm not sure what the format, how they determine that is. Like I haven't really looked at it, but I would think since Canada finished first overall, I would think they would be playing the weakest team. So my guess would be that would be Slovakia, but I could be wrong.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. We'll go with that. So, Mike, now I wanted to go over something that I saw here in this game that was just on between Canada and the Czechs. And that was that one of these Czech goals, the 3-2 goal that gave the Czechs the lead in the third period, they had six players on the ice as the play happened. And as they went up the ice, they scored. They still had the sixth player on the ice, and they were all celebrating, all six of them on the ice. Now, you said that you didn't see it, but I'm telling you, this is what happened. How the hell did the referees miss that over an extended play? It's not like, oh, poof, it happened and no one. I mean, the six players were hugging each other on the ice celebrating, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to see that there's six players on the ice.
I have no idea how that would have been missed. I mean, and like I said when we talked about it before the show here, the announcers didn't even say anything about it. Like normally, they see everything and then they show replays and all this stuff. And I was watching the game and I didn't see any of that. So it was a surprise to me until you had mentioned it. But I'll definitely be watching the highlights there to actually see it happen. So
Right, right. And what did you think of the game overall? I mean, Canada ended up winning in overtime. They're 4-3.
a little
What did
tighter
you think?
game than what I was expecting. When the Czechs took that lead in the third period, I'm like, oof. But Suzuki scored on a really nice tip. Hard for the goalie to stop that. Like the puck was missing the net, and he, deflected it, and it went. And then Marner in overtime, your favorite player, he.
That's right.
That's
The
right.
glue that held the Leafs together.
Apparently so. Uh,
Yep.
how he went through three players and didn't get touched. I don't understand how that happened. They clearly must have thought each defenseman must have thought, or whichever the players they had back. I don't think they were necessarily defensemen, but I think each one, like this, the other forward was chasing him, and then the other two must have thought the other was going to take him or something, and then he split through all of them and scored. Nice goal. I mean, top corner, backhand. You
And
know,
he's in pretty tight too. That's not a great angle
yeah,
to be scoring on that
it
backhand.
was not a great angle. But definitely needed that one. So, especially because the Czechs had just got a breakaway prior to, and anytime anybody's walking in alone on Bennington, it kind of worries me. But he's played all right this tournament, I guess. So, he's hopefully he's got another 2 games left in him.
Yeah, I'm sure that he'll start the next game. I'm
Oh,
sure of it. I
absolutely.
can't
Yeah,
imagine that
they're
he
not going to
won't.
switch goalies now.
Yeah, I know that our friend Claude was quite concerned about Bennington and net, and so, but they got the win. That's all you
Yeah.
can do, right? All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to go over tonight in tonight's discussion there, Mike?
Well, the way they were talking during the game or after the game is they suspect that Josh Morrissey's probably going to be back in the lineup next game, which means Sanheim will probably come out. Depending on Crosby, whether he's able to go or not. If not, Sam Bennett will get back in. Um, but yeah, no, nothing else really. I mean, aside from the Olympics, it's been fairly slow hockey wise. The states are currently up 1-0 against Sweden, so that we'll see how that turns out and see what matchup we've got for Friday. And I'm really hoping that we get the Friday afternoon game so I can watch it. The morning game I won't be able to watch. So
And do you, even though the states are up 1-0 here, what do you think the chances are for the Swedes with one period left to come back and win this game?
well, I really think the states are going to win. I mean, and when we talked about this prior to the tournament, we were all pretty much in agreement thinking that it was going to be a Canada U.S. finals. So I still think that's the case. I mean, the states have Hellebuck in net, so it can't go wrong there. He's probably the best goalie in the tournament right now. So
Yeah, they said that he's let in 2 goals and 50 shots.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Pretty
not sure
good.
how good the quality of the shots were. I mean, some of these teams that don't have a lot of NHL players, sometimes they might just be shooting just to get some shots on net, basically. So as far as quality
Right,
shots,
right.
that I don't know, but nevertheless, only 2 goals and 50 shots. I mean, that's pretty good.
All right. We'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll be back again next week. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week later. And hopefully the NHL will get back soon.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
right.
really slow week this week.
Agreed. All right,
Okay,
later.
later.